now it's IG. Facebook always been big, and I'm not big on Facebook, but
Well, no,
Facebook always
Facebook
been
wasn't
big.
always big. I remember when Facebook only had 25,000 followers. 20,000 members.
Oh,
It was
what?
only open up to it was only open up to Harvard University at first. So when I was in prison, I was reading about all this stuff. I couldn't participate in it, but I read about it. You know, like I remember the first person to ever get on MySpace. You know,
Wow.
the guys who created MySpace. They created MySpace because the little girl, what's her name? I can't think of the little girl's name, but she used to crash Friendster all the time. Friendster didn't have the capability, so they kicked the little girl off because she had all the people coming on there following her. And
Oh,
then
wow.
MySpace created MySpace with the capacity to hold all the people for her. She was the first person to ever get on MySpace.
I
She had
didn't
a
know
little
that.
TV show too. I can't think of her name, but you know, when I was in jail, I was studying all this stuff because I was making my plan on how I was going to attack the world when I got out. You know,
Right. And that's
kind of
what
like
that goes back to.
what I'm. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. No, I was saying that's what goes back to me saying you had time to sit up and make a plan. And that's what's going on now. And it's like I don't think enough people is planning on their next move. It's like they telling you to stay in the house, and you can't really go nowhere because if you do, you're gonna wind up catching the shit. So why not plan while you got this time to sit down and you know what I'm saying and figure some things out for yourself? There's a lot of people that's in fucked up situations and they sitting there and they not even planning how to get out the situation they in because they so worried about
Yeah,
going outside and stuff opening back up. When you got the time to plan now, and you're not doing it.
and they be so focused on the fucked up part instead of focusing on, well, I'm fucked up now. If I don't start doing something today, I'm gonna be fucked up tomorrow. And if
Right,
I don't do nothing
right,
tomorrow, I'm gonna be fucked up 10 years from now. You know,
right.
people will tell you that all the time. Well, I can't do nothing right now because I need this. My rent is due or that's due, and I'll be like, shit, that shit gonna be due tomorrow too,
Definitely.
and the next day, and the next
Yeah,
day, until you
yeah.
figure something out. So you know, I'm always trying to figure out a way to make it just a little bit better for me and the people around me. Uh,
Right.
we had a Zoom. I had two Zoom meetings today, man. I had two crazy Zoom meetings today. You know, I started a group where we trying to come up with a black agenda, and my plan is to teach blacks how I get money. You know, I ain't never had a job in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, never filled out a
Yeah,
job
you want to
application.
ask something crazy? I ain't have a job for like a job. I think for like good 12 years. So for me to hear you say that like you ain't never had a job in your life is like I kind of feel like that because I ain't have a job in so long, man. I have a job in about 12 years.
Yeah, and then if you
But it
do what you do, you love it. It ain't a job.
right,
You know,
right.
you
So
just kicking it. You just kicking
that's
it.
not a yeah, yeah. I don't look at nothing I love as a job. Like me rapping or me, rapping or doing a battle thing or none of that's not really a job to me because it's something I like to do. A job is when you going somewhere and you got somebody over you that's telling you what to do and you don't like it. I feel like that's a job. A job is something you really don't want to do, honestly, to me. You know what I'm
You know, we
saying?
used to call it. We used to call it a slave.
A slave. You're right.
Yeah, that's what we used to
Right.
call it, a
Right.
slave. Because dudes used to regret going. Like, damn, man, I got to go to that slave. You know.
Exactly.
So if
But
you
I,
ain't doing
I
what you
couldn't
want
do
to
it.
do, you ain't doing what you want to do, then you slaving. You know,
Right.
for whatever, the car, the house, the apartment, whatever you like that you spending that money on, you slaving. But what I did is see, I learned how to let the money work for you. See, my man
Right.
say, don't work for money, let money work for you. And that's
Right.
what I did. You know, as soon as I make some money, I put it back to work. I let it go out and earn more money.
A
But
lot
so
of people
often,
don't understand that. Mm-hmm.
no, they buy it so they can spend it. They want to go
Mm-hmm.
make some money so
Mm-hmm.
they can go get some Jordans and some new shirts and some hair and
Right. Right.
get their
Right.
nails done and everything, but pay themselves. One of my teachers said, pay yourself first. Take
Right.
10% out of everything you earn and put it up for yourself. And
Right.
I took that teaching and I said, well, you know what? If everybody else gonna be saving 10%, I'm gonna live off of 10%. I'm gonna save 90.
Makes
So,
sense.
so I'm trying to save all mine. I ain't trying to give them nothing. When I go to the gas station, I be mad as hell. Damn, I gotta buy gas again. Man, I gotta pay this motherfucker at the
Right,
cash
right.
register. I don't
That's
like
you know what's
paying
crazy.
none
That's
of
what I'm
them.
trying. That's what. But you know what's crazy? But that's how you get money, or you save money, or you get to where you want to be, and that's how I be on the net. If I don't have to spend no money, I'm not spending no money. I remember when I was younger, I was into all the. I wanted the new cars. I wanted like whatever like was hot. I wanted a foreign car. I remember all that. And it's like I realize now that I'm older. Like, dag, I really used to be like that, but now I don't be caring about that. I'll be thinking about what business I'm gonna start next, and I'm gonna take some money, put it in this business, or I'm gonna focus on this. That's how I be thinking now. Instead of saying, "All right, damn, I want this new car, so these girls could be on me." When you grow up, man, I mean, everybody grow up at different times. So somebody could be my age and still ain't grow up yet.
Oh, no
Or,
question.
or somebody could be your age and still ain't grow up yet. So once you grow up mentally, you start looking at stuff in a different light, in a different way.
For sure. Well, my tennis coach used to call, he said, you got an old fool and a young fool. Ain't no difference in the two. They
Right.
both fools.
They both fools. Right, right, right. That make a
Yeah,
lot of
so
sense.
you got to be wise, and we got to start thinking wise, and that's what I'm trying to do with this group, is to bring us together so we can start getting wiser and making wiser decisions where we're not just running around doing whatever everybody else is doing. Know what you're doing, know why you're doing it, and watch yourself improve, man.
Right, right.
Have
That's
some
what I'm
fun.
trying to do.
You know what my
That's what
man
I'm trying to do.
said? My man Reginald Lewis said, he said, why should white men have all the fun?
Right.
And I said the same thing. Why should they? Why should they be living in paradise and we living in hell? You
But
know?
that's what you but that stems from us too, because as a people we're not together. It's like as black people we try to pull each other down so we could get to the top instead of trying to work together so we all can be at the top. You know what I'm saying? And I learned
That's the
that too. It's
mission.
like we want to be everybody want to be the when you look at other races, somebody has sacrificed themselves just so this person can get to the top.
Right. Well,
You know
that
what I'm
was
saying?
me
Even
in the dope game. I was willing to sacrifice myself so that my family could live well. I had absolutely
right.
no problem with sacrificing myself. But what disappointed me is that when my family didn't take all of the things that I sacrificed for and use them to the benefit. But what I realize is that when people don't have the same dream that you have, they don't value the things that you value. So
That's my point. One of the biggest thing I learned is I can't expect everybody to think like me. And in that aspect of what you said is like you was thinking that way, your mindset was like that, but theirs wasn't. And you can't expect it. If I'll give you my last, I can't expect you to give me your last just because I'll do it for you. And that's one of the biggest things I learned.
and
Just
you can't
becoming a
expect them to
man.
do the right and you can't expect them to do the right thing with your last.
Right.
They might take it
Because yeah, you
and make
might
it
give it
rain
your
at the strip club. You
that's
come
my
in there, they
point.
got your last. Hey, they got your last in the club. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you
And
tight.
you be like, that was my last dollar. What the, but that's how it is, And me myself, I was looking at like my family, like, oh, they're gonna be glad to have their own business. You know,
Hmm.
my mom, she gonna be glad to have her own hotel. Where now all she gotta do is walk to the window, and somebody gonna have her hand her some cash. You know,
Everybody don't see the picture you see though.
nah,
And
moms
sometimes
want
get I hear you.
moms want to go to the bingo hall.
Right. Because that's her fun. That's her you get what I'm saying? And you'll be
Yeah,
sitting
that's
there
what she.
like you'll be sitting there like, all right, you know what I'm saying? This is I put this here for you to do this where you can make more money, but that's your mindset. Her mindset is I want to go to the bingo hall and have fun.
And be with my friends.
Yeah, and it's just different people. I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this: if everybody was made to be bosses, the world would be lopsided. The world wouldn't be right. That
Nah, they got enough for everybody though.
yeah,
It's
definitely. But
plenty.
everybody no, but everybody mindset is not made to be a boss. I mean, if everybody was mindset was made to be a boss, then you wouldn't have workers. You wouldn't have you know what I'm saying? The people that take the lesser jobs to do stuff.
Right.
We wouldn't have a lot of stuff going on. Everybody mindset can't be made to be a boss or to think or to run things. Let me say that. Everybody mind frame ain't made to run things. You gotta have somebody that knows how to take orders and knows how to deliver orders and knows how to do this. You gotta have it. It gotta be a pyramid because then the world will be lopsided.
Who should be the one who pick who's on the top and who on the bottom though?
Ain't nobody gonna that's something that just falls into place by itself.
No, it don't fall into place.
Who picks on who's top, who's on the top, who's on the bottom?
Each individual by
Yeah,
their
but
actions.
right. I agree with
You
that.
choose you choose who are on the bottom and who on the top by their actions, by the decisions that they make. Decisions that's made today is gonna determine where a person is next month and the month after that. So it's their actions that pick who's gonna be on top and who's gonna be on
So
the bottom. So
totally agree that, but I'm saying the same thing you saying. I'm probably just saying a different way. That's why I said it's gonna fall into place. I meant the same thing you were saying. Where if we put five people right here, right now, everybody position. You don't got to tell nobody they position at all. Everybody position is gonna show in that next hour because it's gonna go off of how strong this person is strong, this person is weak, this person can do this, this person can do that. It's gonna fall right into place just off of being there. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
because of
but the
actions,
person
like
is
you said.
weak. But the person is weak could work to he could start working to be strong.
Definitely. But that's the thing. When you got a team, your weakest person, you're supposed to make it strong as you. People don't understand that.
Right. But he has to do it on his own. Because you can't make him strong.
He
He
gotta
has
want
to
to
make a
do it.
he gotta
He
want
gotta
to
want
do
to
it.
do it. He gotta want to
Absolutely.
do it. If he doesn't, and that's exactly what it is. You hit it on the nose. He gotta want to do it. And if he,
So everybody is where they at. So I believe everybody is in the position they're in right now because of the actions that they've been taking.
right,
You're
right,
not cursed. You're not cursed. Uh, the people that's doing good, they're not special. They wasn't gifted from God. They
right,
just made some steps that allowed them to accomplish the goals that they've been accomplishing. Somebody turned their light bulb on
right,
and they saw it, bing, and they took action.
right,
And with me, my big homeboy for cocaine, he turned my light bulb on. I knew absolutely nothing about cocaine, and
right,
he introduced me to it. To me, that was turning my light bulb on.
right.
And after he turned the light on, what I started to do is I started to make the light better.
Mhm,
Add more electricity to it, get better
mhm,
lights.
mhm,
Find better
mhm,
bulbs that's gonna make it
mhm,
brighter.
mhm.
Find bulbs that's gonna use less electricity.
You ain't just take what he said and just did it his way. You enhanced it and figured out a smarter way to do it in
Exactly.
the way for you, and that's what people don't do. Mhm.
And that's what we should be doing. And that's what we're gonna have to do as a people if we want to get out of this hole that we're in. We're gonna have to find ways to enhance what we already have. Otherwise, uh, uh, we're gonna stay in the same position.
Right. I mean, I like what's going on right now. How people are standing up and doing what they're doing now.
Yeah.
I
So you
think for the
think this
first
is a
time yeah, I think for the
you
first
think this is a
time,
good
right?
thing?
Depending on, I mean, if we get deep into it, I think it's a good thing for us as unity and standing together. Honestly, I think it's gonna make things worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna make things worse because we fucked either way. Let me say that. I think no, and that's how I
Oh no!
really
Don't say
feel.
that. You're gonna kill my hope.
listen. The
You're
reason I
gonna
say
kill my
that,
hope. Don't
the
do that.
the
Go
reason
ahead.
I
Go
say,
ahead.
the
Tell me.
reason I say that is because if we didn't do nothing, they was gonna keep doing it. Now
No
that we
doubt.
are doing something, it's getting them more upset, and it's making them want to fight and do it even more. That's how I look at it. Now I hope I'm wrong. I
Well,
hope.
no, you're not wrong about that because we already see police walking out because they arrested the police. Police calling in sick. Talking about they're not going to protect. The only people they're gonna answer calls is if police need assistance. If it's a domestic violence or something, they ain't coming out.
Wow.
So they definitely want to. Police want to protest too.
Right.
Somebody
And
said we should rename them, change it from the police, because they said police was put together to round up the slaves. That's what police was originally created for, to catch the slaves, the runaway slaves.
wow.
So they were saying change the name to serve, to serve and protect.
Yeah.
You
Dude.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give them a different
Yeah.
name because that police name ain't been working. This is what you
Yeah.
here for.
No, that's true because if you change the name to serve and protect, that subconsciously that falls into your head. And it's like if you're not doing that, you're basically saying what your job is to serve and protect. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we definitely got to do something, and I think we could pull out of this though. I think, and I don't necessarily know that the ride and everything is gonna help us, but it did open some doors. It did get us a look. Now,
Right.
uh, now we got to take advantage of that look. Now we got to take that and push forward with it. Now we got to study. Now we got to sacrifice. Now we got to save. Now we got to uplift our community. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But when I was in jail, I looked out at the world and I was trying to figure out, what was I gonna bring back to the world? You
Right.
know, I read over 300 books while I was in prison. I went to prison. I was illiterate. I never read a book before, but before I got out, I read over 300 books.
Wow. That's dope.
Because I didn't want to come out the same way I went in.
Yeah.
I wanted to be better. And I knew that I couldn't go back to selling dope. I knew that my dope days was over with. And not only because I didn't want to go to prison, but I saw the hypocriteness in myself. I saw myself not wanting people to sell dope to my mom, to my brothers, and my sisters, but then I was selling dope to everybody's brothers and
To
sisters. And
everybody. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? You're a hypocrite. You're a motherfucking hypocrite. And the only reason that you're doing that is because you got the power.
Right.
See, you got the power that other people don't have. And for
Right.
you doing it like that makes you a bully. And one thing I never wanted to do is I never wanted to be a bully. I always wanted to be a fair dude and to treat everybody the way I wanted to be treated.
How did it how did it feel in those times to be making that much money?
Man, it felt wonderful, to have your auntie call and say, "Hey, they just repoed my car," and you be like, "Go get it."
With no
They call
problem.
you, yeah, no, that was easy to do.
Yeah, that was like I
Get a
wanna know
car,
I wanna know
get a
how
car
depth I
from the
could get
repo
into with these
man,
questions.
huh?
I wanna know how depth because I wanna know how depth I can get in with these questions because I want
Listen, we kicking it, man, and we at the we homies. We at the just look at like we on the block chopping it up.
yeah, yeah. I
You,
wanna know on a weekly how much was you bringing in on a weekly?
man, I had weeks that I probably brought in like 12 million, 13 million.
Fucking crazy, man.
You figure. Let's go like this here. This is how you do the numbers on some great days. The first I do $3 million the first of the month.
That's fucking crazy.
The second, 2.5. The third, $1.8 million. The fourth, $1.2 million, $1.3 million, $1.4 million. The fifth, $1.1 million. The sixth, $1 million. So
This is crazy because the head. Let me be real with you. This is unheard of to me. It just sounds crazy because it's like to bring this much money in off of fucking drugs is crazy.
but you know what? When I was doing it, I didn't think nothing of it.
It was a different
was
time
only-
too, in a different era. That's another thing too.
It was only when I got to prison and I started to realize, because I was thinking that like anybody could do this shit.
Hmm.
You know, here I am, no high school diploma, couldn't read, couldn't write, and I'm making this kind of money. So I'm like, shit, anybody can do this shit. Any dumb motherfucker could make $1 million a day. And they could. Any kid could do it if they're willing to make the sacrifices. See,
I'm gonna disagree. I don't feel like anybody could do it. I feel like just because you couldn't read or write, you had a different kind of wit and smarts to you. Because if that's the case, I'd have been making $1 million a day.
well, I can read
I'm not.
people. I learned how to
That's my
read people.
point. That's my point.
But you can
Reading
learn how to
people.
read people. You read people too.
No, I mean that. See, I do read
Of
people,
course you do.
and that was a
Of
gift.
course you do.
But that's a gift.
But
Everybody can't read people.
everybody can read people. Some read better than others, though. But we all
Everybody
get
don't
a
know how to.
sense. We all get a sense of people. You know,
Right.
like when people come around, you get a little sense. This dude, he don't really smile. He ain't really happy. He's sad.
Nah, but you gotta be smart enough to look at those things. Everybody is not smart enough to look at that at all. You're saying that because you had that talent, you had that sense. You were smart enough to be able to do that. You know how they say common sense ain't common? I know if
Yeah,
I go
you right.
touch that fire,
No,
it's gonna burn me. I
no.
know
You
if I
right
go
about
touch the
that.
fire. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is something I learned from dealing with a female. I was with a girl for like 3 years, right? Didn't work out, right? And we broke up. So, at first I'm tired of her. Fuck that bitch. I'm wild. I don't go fuck that bitch, man. Cause in all actuality, she wound up leaving me. So at the time I couldn't see why. I'm like, fuck this bitch bugging, whatever. I used to look at shit. Once I realized, it's something I realized after this whole thing. I realized women think totally different from men. Once I realized that, I understood me and Shorty's whole relationship. Because instead of me looking at it my way, I started looking at things the way she probably would look at it as being a woman. Now, me saying that is saying, to me, common sense is common sense. This is how I used to think. So if I know if I go touch this fire, it's gonna burn me, right?
Right.
If I reach over this fire to try to get this, whatever's on the other side of this fire, it's a big possibility I'm gonna get burned. A female would think I can reach over this fire quick enough to grab the thing on the other side and it won't burn me. And this is real. Once I learned that, I understood how to be in a relationship. And I'm just saying that because people just think, well, they
Right.
dress plain, they look
A
plain.
lot of times.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the people that
No.
the people that got sense, the people that's grown, mature enough to understand it. When you a billionaire, 100 millionaire, you got that type of money. You don't need to wear that stuff. The people that wear that stuff, honestly, the people that want to look like they got money. And I understand that because when I was young, I was buying all that shit and wanted to do all that because I wanted to look like, yeah, I got money to buy this.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
most of the
saying?
time they
Like,
broke. And most of the time they broke.
right.
I remember one time I go to the skating room with one of my little homies, right? and he looked like Mr. T. He got rings on every finger, and the girls all over him,
Right.
all over him. And I'm like, wow, they don't know he the worker.
Right. That's my point.
And I
The
talk
shit,
about
whatever
that. I
glitter
talk
ain't
about that.
gold.
I talk about that in my book too. You know that a lot of times we just look at the glitter and the shine, like we see them in them new cars and the car rented. You know,
Exactly.
I don't know dudes to go rent the car and the girl be like, "Where that car at? When you gonna come back over in that car?" He can't come back in that car no more.
Yeah, I could never do nothing like that, man. I don't know how people could do that. You know what the thing is now though? The thing is now it's fake jewelry. We're in an era where everybody got fake jewelry. And it's like if you can't afford it, man, you don't need it. You don't need to go if you can't afford to buy something real, you don't need to go buy the imitation of it. You don't need to do it. But
No
we
doubt.
in the era, where, and like you said,
Now,
that's so funny
now,
you said
now I
that.
gotta ask you something because they told me you in my lane. They said you
When
got your
what?
own marijuana brand.
Yeah, yeah. I got
How you, how
I
you,
started a
how you
cannabis
get
line
in?
called.
How you
Say it
get into
again.
marijuana? How you get into marijuana? How you get into
On
marijuana?
honestly,
Huh?
on
This my pre
honestly,
roll right here.
that's your pre-roll. See,
That's my
we
pre
might have to
roll.
talk.
That's my
Honestly,
pre roll. This my gift box with all the pins and the shatters and
I'm gonna
all
show you.
that.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you one of my good boxes. Hold on. That's dope. That's dope. I'm out here, man. I'm trying. I'm trying to do
What
some
city
things.
you in? What city you in?
Oh, I'm in New York. I don't live in New York no more, but I'm in New York. This is my
Okay, okay.
This is one of my boxes right here.
Yeah.
You open it up, yeah.
Dope, dope, dope.
You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I got into that being around the right people, and people don't understand when I say stuff like this. I said in one of my battles, right? I said, you know why I'm doing better than these battle rap niggas? Because the niggas I hang with is doing better than me, and that was the truth. It's like I got into the cannabis company because of the people I got around me. They're actually smart. They invest in a lot of businesses and plan where to the point where they got me on it like that. So they kind of
Right.
pulled me in, and then once I start reading up on it, I'm like, I see the health benefits in it, and it's stuff like that that made me because I never smoked. I never was a smoker like that, but it was different reasons. Like, oh, they treat epilepsy with this with cannabis. Oh
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's dope. And I read into that, and I'm like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like this is something to do because because before I put my hands in something, I'm gonna read up on it and see how I don't ever want to do nothing to mess up my brand. And because
Right.
I'm a person that don't smoke, it has to make sense for me. And if you ask me why I got into it, I got to be able to tell you. So that's why I read up on it and saw stuff like that. And once I saw, they treat it for the epilepsy and some other stuff they use to treat like things with cannabis. I'm like, wow. So then when I start going to the so me and my man came up with that's my partner. We came up with everything, the whole Haymaker brand and everything, and he was more deep into it than I was. So he kind of schooled me on a lot of things. Then I start going to we had a lot of meetings at the grow houses and dispensaries, and I'm seeing 5,000 pounds, or not even 1,000, way more than that, probably like 5,000 pounds sitting in a refrigerator, a big ass freezer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's just like when you go through that whole process, you really be sitting there like, wow, this is ill. I never knew this is how the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And
They doing it
that's how I
like
really got
this.
into it. Right,
They doing it like this.
legally though, legally. I'm in San Francisco. I'm having meetings. I got 3 meetings booked for the day. They all 2 hours apart. Like I'm talking about driving.
Right.
Every place because the where you gotta go is out in the I don't know what it's called, but it's not by nothing. It's way out where it's just fields.
Right.
So all that shit was ill of me. But yeah, that's how I got into it. And you know, it's about starting a business. Like I said, I haven't worked for 12 years. I haven't worked for 12 years because I wasn't born to have somebody over me. I never could do it. It's like I just couldn't do it. Every job
Yeah.
I ever had, I just couldn't have somebody over me because now when you come in and you my boss. At the end of the day, whenever we both go home, we are both men. That's how I look at stuff. So now when you come and you having a bad day, you want to talk to me the way you want to talk to me. I never could deal with that. So I got fired from a lot of jobs and all that because I'm gonna put you in your place. Because when we leave out of here, you a man like I'm a man. That's it. That's where it stops at. So that made me start getting into my own stuff and said, all right, well, if I want to make money and I want to be able to live okay, I got to start my own businesses. I can't work for nobody if I know I can't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with me, I notice I always like to take shortcuts. You know, I try to go around all that middle shit, jump over it, go under it or something. You know, like I make it to the 12th grade and not be able to read and write, but I'm in the 12th grade because I didn't care about all the shit they was talking about in school. I just want to get to the 12th grade so I can get out of
Right.
school. And that's really the same way I do with everything, man. With the cannabis industry, I just wanted the money, man. So I like, let's go. You know
That's
what I'm
all right.
saying?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, but that's from
I'm
the
with it.
gate. That's all we think. That's what we thinking about. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if we don't, the first thing I thought of course, when it's presented to you is money. Is money in this industry. And that industry is money.
Big money.
Big. You know what I'm
Like people
saying?
don't even know. People don't even know how big it
They,
is.
if you got a following, you got some. If you got a following or you got some money already, you can make money in the cannabis industry. You gotta have the right team around you though.
And you got to study too. You got to know the game. You
That's my
can't. You
point.
can't
You
really.
can't just
You
walk
can't
in
really
here.
get in this game and don't know what you're doing.
I know people that came in, right, with like they started off with like 30,000, which people don't understand is short money in the cannabis industry. And they not doing nothing. They start off with 30,000, they got the bottom of the line weed and dispensaries and ain't selling. You can't come in this game like that.
Nah, no. You gotta have your shit together.
Right. We came in like with me and my partners, we came in with like I think at least like 500 or something like that we came in with because and that's not even off of me. That's just off them knowing what they got to do because my man was a grower. He started off a grower. He was a grower for fucking 15 years. So he knew the ins and outs already.
Yeah, yeah. You need that,
You know what
and
I'm
that's the
saying?
way to
So
come in.
that's the way to come in. Everybody got to play their part.
So he influenced you to get into the drug business. I mean, into the weed business. Because I say drug business. My bad. Sometimes I get them mixed up, weed and
Yeah,
drugs, and
that shit all the
because
same shit.
it's all the same.
It's all
It's
the
all the
same shit. So
same
is
to
rap.
me. Huh? So it's rap.
So is rap, man. That shit is the dope game, the weed, the drug business. That shit all the same shit, man.
Well, yeah. You know they say one of the biggest drugs in the world is TV and radio
Right.
because it's another form of programming
And
and and
fame.
and and
Fame is a
and
big
and
drug too.
all the yeah. You're right because they get high on that shit. You know I should get high on that on selling drugs. I didn't use then.
Yeah.
I like the weed now. I eat the weed now. Not
Or the
cheap,
edibles and all that.
cheaper high. I like the cheap high. You know, I used to
That's
blow
a
so
quick.
much weed,
I,
it was ridiculous.
the crazy shit is, I never smoked before, right? I never, I never smoked before in my life. Never smoked. The other day, these people hit me up called pizza pushers, and they hit me up. They wanted to send me some of their stuff. Their stuff is good. Like their food is good, but it's all weed infused. But I'm thinking to myself, man, this shit ain't gonna do nothing. So they got pieces. I ate a piece. It ain't really do nothing. I'm like, oh, all right. I might have felt it a little bit, but I don't know what being high feels like. So I don't really know, right? So I got some brownies, some cookies in here. So every day, look, I like sweets. I like chocolate chip cookies and cakes. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they sitting there, you know, I'll take a little piece every day, and it don't do nothing. It don't do nothing to me. It wasn't doing nothing. So I'm like, oh, these shit's saying, you know, they ain't nothing. Right? So I'll take a little piece every day. One day I walk by it. I take a piece of something. I just taste it. It was so good. I'm like, man, fuck that. I take the whole thing, eat the whole thing right there. Leave out the house.
Bad decision.
I walk back in his house. My legs felt like they had fucking anchors on them. I was so high in this fucking house by myself, I didn't know what to do. I'm sitting at my little shit, this little table right here. I'm sitting and I'm just sitting there and I'm eating a sandwich and I just feel myself just staring. Right? I'm in here by myself. I'm in here bugging the fuck out. I go in the room, I text somebody. Now this I knew I was high because when I walked in the room, it felt like it was like 3 midgets on my legs holding on. I couldn't pick my shit up. So I walk in. I'm gotta pick my legs up like they heavy. I get to the room. I don't know who I text, but I text somebody. From the time I text them and put the phone down, I walk to the bathroom to wash my face. I'm thinking in my head while I'm walking to the bathroom, damn, did I just text somebody or am I dreaming? Y'all was high as a motherfucker.
I ain't gonna tell you about my first experience with with edibles, man. One of my boys talked me into going to a cannabis fest. I wasn't even messing with weed. I wasn't gonna mess with weed. I was like, man, I ain't fucking with no drugs. You know, I just got off parole. And he was like, man, let's go celebrate you off parole. You know, he a heavy smoker.
Yeah.
So he talked me into going and said, man, I bet you sell a lot of books out there. It was one of them big fests, like 50,000 people. Man, I go out there. I said, all them books, man. And it was so crazy, right? These are people I never saw before. And they started telling me like, hey, man, I made a vegan popsicle for you. Huh? I eat it. I made a vegan sucker for you. Oh, check out this vegan candy boy because I'm vegan. Check out this vegan candy boy. I mean, I'm saying, man, how all these motherfuckers talking about they made something for me and I didn't even know I was coming out here? How did they know I was coming?
Wow.
Anyway, when I left there, I was so high. I'm going to make a long story short. I forgot everything that I knew. I felt like my life was a movie, right?
Yeah, that's how I felt.
My life was a movie,
shit.
and the writer and the director had ran out of lines. So my life had stopped. So I'm like on pause, right? The rest of my life, we're going to be there stuck on the set because the director and the writer, them fucked up, and they don't know where to go from here. And that's how I felt. Yes.
I saying that.
Out of
yo,
it.
You saying that because you saying you feel like your life was a movie. That's how I felt walking from the fucking, because I got a bathroom in my room. Walking from the bed to the bathroom felt like a movie. And so when you saying that, and you know what I'm saying in my head when I'm walking? I'm saying to myself, yo, I'm high as a motherfucker. I'm telling myself that. I washed my face. I went straight and laid down. Look, I go back. I go lay down. I fall asleep. I didn't know when you high like that, your dreams are so vivid. I kept dreaming it was scaring the shit out of me. So I kept waking up because the shit was like too real. Y'all, I don't ever want to feel like that again, man. They can keep that shit. I'm good.
I love it. I'm gonna go drop me something tonight. As soon as we get off. I should have had me a couple before we got on.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm not eating no more edible. Yo.
No, you done?
Hell yeah, I'm done. I never smoked in the hell yeah. I'm done for the rest of my life. Never ever. It's over.
Man, it's one of the best relaxations that you can have.
I think I should have ate half. Me not knowing, because I'm thinking like this shit ain't doing nothing. I ate that whole fucking cookie, man. That shit put me down. My leg. I'm telling you, it was people holding my legs down. I know it was. I was bucking. Then I ain't had nobody in here to take care of me and shit. I was all fucked up, man.
Oh, I had a lot of people around me. You know, the whole family. Everybody was like, "Damn, don't you fuck up."
See, I ain't had nobody. I was fucked up.
Hey, if you don't know what to do, we through. You know, if you don't know what to do, we done.
Yeah, I was fucked up.
Yeah,
though.
so But that's really how I got into the game, man. And you know, right now my goal is to become the king of. Well, I got caught going up to Humboldt one day. I was riding
Yeah.
up to Humboldt scoring, and I had about 105,000 in the car. The police pulled me over and took all my money and ran to the newspaper. He couldn't wait to get to the
Wow.
newspaper to tell him, "Oh, we just caught the guy who say he's straight. He's going straight again. Remember, he said he was going straight before, and he went back to cocaine, and now he says he's going straight. And we caught him up here buying weed." Well, the L.A. Times did an article, and they said the new prince of marijuana. And I read that article, and I said, you know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna make the L.A. Times right. I'm gonna be the new prince of marijuana. Hey, and I really went to work. I really went to work after that. Matter of fact, I just cut a deal the other day with the biggest grower in California. Um,
That's dope.
so
That's dope.
yeah. I love the marijuana game. How did you get into rap?
Um, I was coming home from school one day and I saw like a big crowd, and I was walking to the crowd, and when I finally got through, I was like young. I got through. I saw like two people battling, like just rapping at each other, and that was like how I really got into it. And I was just so fascinated by it. Like, what the hell are they doing? And they was just like rapping at each other, rapping at each other. And then from there I start paying attention to it. Like the older dudes around me, they was kind of known for rapping, and they used to be rapping in the staircase. I used to live in like this big building. They used to just go in the staircase and just rap, and I used to listen to the door when they was in there and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how I got into rap. It was for that battle. I saw a battle when I was young, and I didn't know what it was. And from there, I was always fascinated by it.
Who the toughest battle you ever had?
Toughest battle I've had probably was this kid named Tay Rock. He dope. You should go look at him.